Gunung Kerinci. Mount Kerinci, also spelled Kerintji, also known as Gunung Gadang, Merapi, is the highest mountain in Sumatra, the highest volcano in Indonesia, and the highest zenit in Indonesia outside Papua. Mount Kerinci is located in Kerinci Regency, Jambi Province, more precisely on the border between Jambi Province and West Sumatra Province, in the Bukit Barisan Mountains, near the west coast, using an altitude of 3,805 miles. This mountain is also the boundary between the Kerinci tribal area and the Minangkabau ethnic group, which is surrounded by dense forest, and the Kerinci Sebagai National Park is the place of origin of the Sumatran tiger and Sumatran rhino. Mount Kerinci is a stratovolcano-type volcano that is still active and last erupted in 2009. At the zenith of Mount Kerinci, you can see the distance a panoramic view of the city of Jambi, Padang, and Bengkulu. Even the vast Indian Ocean can be seen clearly. Mount Kerinci has a caldera of 400 by 120 meters and contains green water. To the east is the Benja Swamp, the highest clear water swamp in Sumatra. Behind him is a mountain of 7 using an almost untouched caldera. Topography. Mount Kerinci is conical in shape with a width of 13 kilometers, 8 miles, and a length of 25 kilometers, 16 miles, extending from north to south. At its peak on the northeast side is a 600-meter, 1,969 feet, deep crater filled with green water. Until now, the caldera measuring 400 by 120 meters is still active. Mount Kerinci last erupted in July 2019. According to observations from the Mount Kerinci observation post, the height of the ash column due to the eruption reached approximately 800 meters above zenith. Mount Kerinci is part of the Kerinci Sebagai National Park, TNKS. TNKS is a protected area which has an area of 1,484,650 hectares and is located in the territory of 4 provinces, most of which are in the Jambi area. TNKS itself is part of the Bukit Barisan Mountains that extends from north to south on the island of Sumatra. TNKS was also designated as a World Heritage Site, the Tropical Rainforest Heritage of Sumatra, TRHS, in 2006. Mount Kerinci means an active type A mountain which is located about 130 kilometers south of the city of Padang. Eruption type, Hawaiian type mountain form, strato or conical volcano eruption type, explosive eruption mountain activity, type A. Flora and animals. Lowland plains are dominated by several types of mahogany. There are also super large plants, Rafflesia are an Aldean giant Suego morphophallus titanum. Spruce trees also grow on Mount Kerinci. Using Loser National Park, this park is blocked by Lake Toba and Canyon Solenock. As a result, several animals that are not found in tame and Loser are found here, such as the tapir, Tapirus indicus, and Puscus, Tarsius bankinus. There are special Sumatran animals such as elephants, Sumatran rhinos, tigers, sun bears, leopards, etc. orangutans. Various kinds of primates such as gibbons, long-tailed monkeys, and presbytized melopopos. There are also 140 species of birds. Mount Kerinci can be reached by land from the city of Jambi to the city of Sungai Penuh via Bangkok. It is also possible to have an air route from Sultan Haihai International Airport to Depati Pardo Airport in Kerinci Regency, Jambi Province. It can also be reached from the field, Lubuk Linggau, and Bengkulu. Using an airplane, you can land in the city of Jambi or the city of Padang. The natural beauty of the scenery with the wealth of flora and animals can be found from the lowlands to the top of Mount Kerinci, not only to be enjoyed but also very good for research and education. The climb to the top of Mount Kerinci takes 2 days 2 nights or 2 days 1 night, starting from the Kursa 2O climbing route, Kerinci Regency, Jambi Province. Kursa 2O Village, Kai Uaro Subdistrict is located at an altitude of 1,400 meters above sea level with a population consisting of plantation workers of Javanese descent, so the local language is Javanese. From Kursa 2O, we go to the TNKS guard post or R10 at an altitude of 1,611 p by walking for about 45 minutes across the tea plantations. Pondok Aratin is a TNKS guardhouse to watch over every visitor who will climb Mount Kerinci. As long as the Aratin, we go to the door of the jungle using an altitude of 1,682 meters above sea level. The distance is approximately 2 kilometers with a travel time of approximately 1 hour drive. The terrain is in the form of plantation/population fields, good road conditions, asphalt, up to the forest boundary. The jungle gate is the initial gate for climbing at the forest boundary between fields and heterogeneous forest as the entrance. The door of the jungle is at an altitude of 1,682 meters above sea level. Here there is a shelter location as well as a water location approximately 200 meters to the left. The distance to the long bench is 2 kilometers or 30 minutes of travel. The trajectory is relatively gentle entering the heterogeneous forest area. After that, the journey to the bungalow or post 1 with an altitude of 1,735 meters above sea level. There are 2 shelter items that can be used to rest. Bungalow made on a still gently sloping distance of 2 kilometers when it takes about 45 minutes to cross the forest area. Hikers can rest on the long bench post 2, which is at an altitude of 1,782 meters above sea level, but there is no shelter here. There is a river that is sometimes dry in the dry season. To get to bungalow 2 or post 3, which is about 2 km from the bench, it takes about 1.5 hours. The path enters a dense and steep forest area using a slope of 45 to 60 degrees. Post 3 or Grand 2 is located at an altitude of 1,982 meters above sea level, and there is a hut that can be used to rest. To get to shelter 1, you have to take approximately 3 km and take 2 hours. On this trajectory sometimes encountered steep terrain with a slope of up to 45 degrees but still meet using sloping terrain. There is a node hut in shelter 1 which is at an altitude of 2,505 meters above sea level. Here climbers can rest and set up a tent. Because setting up a tent is mandatory at shelter 1, shelter 3, camp area. To get to shelter 2 from shelter 1, the distance that must be traveled is 2 km and takes about 3 hours. On this route, you can find ferns in relatively open forest conditions. Shelter 2 has an altitude of 3,056 miles. To go to shelter 3 from shelter 2, the distance that must be traveled is about 1.5 kilometers, it takes about 1.5 hours. The condition of the path in the form of former water flow as a result will turn into a ditch if it rains. Shelter 3 is at an altitude of 3,291 meters above sea level, camp area. When we arrived at shelter 3, we were already at the vegetation boundary between the forest and the typical volcanic rocky path. Towards the top scenic of Mount Kerinci 3,805 miles, we need to pass the final post, which is the Yuta monument. Only after that the peak of Indapura. Around Mount Kerinci is at least 15 lakes. The largest is Lake Kerinci, followed by the mountain lakes 7. The 4,200 hectare Kerinci Lake is situated at an altitude of 650 meters, 130 feet, and is the host of the Kerinci Lake Festival. Lake Gunung Kerinci is a crater lake formed on an extinct volcano, and is surrounded by 7 peaks. Lake Gunung Kerinci is the highest lake in Southeast Asia with an altitude of 1,996 meters, 6,549 feet.